Pika Pika, Pika Pee. Charmander. Squirtle, 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 Squirtle.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're going to be counting down our picks for the greatest Pokemon theories that will change how you view the series.
You're alive! Pika.
Pikachu!
Hey guys, sorry to worry you.
Number 20, Ash's first legendary was a blessing. The first episode of Pokémon is majorly iconic, not just for setting up the series wonderfully, but for how many fan theories it's created. At the end, when Ash and Pikachu are lying stunned on the floor, they spot a legendary Ho-Oh flying above them. In episode 227, Ho-Oh was revealed to be a friend to humankind, and that it was hiding in a tower for over 300 years.
They wait for the day when Pokémon and humans can live together in cooperation and harmony. When that time finally comes, Ho-Oh will return.
Barely any trainers have seen this Pokémon in the wild, but here Ash becomes part of that rare club. Additionally, anyone who meets Ho-Oh gets eternal happiness. Some believe it was a sign that Ash would eventually become a Pokémon master someday. Others think it put a blessing on him that kept him eternally 10 years old.
I know where it's headed. It's going to the Hoenn region.
Number 19, Nurse Joy and Officer Jenny are clones.
Repeat, be on the lookout for suspicious-looking... Speak of the devil?
In the original games, character sprites were frequently reused. This led them to introduce Officer Jenny and Nurse Joy in the anime, who all look identical. Canonically, all the Jennys are cousins who dress the same, and Joys are all daughters of another nurse. The first Pokémon movie introduces cloning to the series, making fans wonder, what if all the Joys and Jennys are clones made by Team Rocket?
Your Viridian City Pokémon were transported here safely.
Thanks, sis.
Their lead scientist, Dr. Fuji, tried and failed to clone his deceased daughter, Amber, so maybe their failed attempts at that too. It's canonically disproven that they're simply relatives. That hasn't stopped fans from wondering whether all the Nurse Joys are Pokémon instead.
I left my motorcycle parked at the front desk.
Next time, use the driveway.
Number 18, Haunter possesses a Pokeball.
Let's open up these Pokeballs and find out what kind of great Pokemon he gave us.
Few fans will argue against the point that Voltorb is a very simple Pokemon design. Well, this has led to a theory that may change your perspective on Voltorb. It says they're not simply Pokemon that look like a Pokeball, but are literally possessed Pokeballs. In Generation 1, the only ghost types that exist are Ghastly, Haunter, and Gengar. Therefore, fans wondered if a Haunter once tried to possess a Pokeball, then ended up trapped, causing an explosion inside.
I won't do anything bad anymore!
This explains why Voltorb has no button. The theory is supported by the similarity in the two Pokemon's eyes. Others instead claim Voltorb is possessed by the Generation 4 Pokemon, Rotom, who canonically possesses electronics but was introduced after Voltorb.
The Plasma Pokemon. Rotom plays practical jokes, which it carries out by embedding its plasma body in electronic devices. Devices? Like appliances?
Number 17, Red murders Blue's Raticate. All fans know that Pokémon are always knocked out after losing a battle, and rarely die. In the Generation 1 games, the player character Red's rival is Blue, whom you battle multiple times, including on the SS Anne. During this particular fight, he uses a Raticate. After winning, he'll have lost the Pokémon during your next encounter. Also, this follow-up encounter happens at Lavender Town's Pokémon Tower, where dead Pokémon are laid to rest. This led fans to wonder if Red murdered Gary's Raticate accidentally. There's also a strong chance he simply put them into storage, swapping them for a stronger Pokémon, but where's the fun in that?
I worked very hard training and raising it. Please, can I have it back?
You leave me no choice.
I'm sorry.
Number 16, Ditto is a failed Mew clone.
Ditto, a transformed Pokémon.
Another popular theory arises from the first movie. Ditto is one of the most uniquely powerful Pokémon, being able to shapeshift at will. Mew is also noteworthy for being theorized to be the ancestor of every known Pokémon. A cloning project led to the creation of Mewtwo out of Mew. One theory goes a step further, stating that Ditto came out of the same project. Evidence for this includes them both being the only Pokémon able to transform.
Go, little Ditto! Transform!
They also have similar weights, no gender, and similar colors, among other things. Evidence disproving the theory includes the developers saying it's not true. Oh.
This world is too small for two of us.
Number 15. Missing No are corrupted Pokémon. In Generation 1, a bizarre glitched out entity called Missing No existed. It could be used to duplicate items if it were found, but it's extremely unlikely the developers intended for it to be discovered. It's graphically a nightmare, making it one of the most famous game glitches. Most players believe it's simply a programming error. Others think it's the remains of a removed Pokémon. For example, there's a theory that its counterpart ''M is an early version of Marowak that was deleted. There's a chance Cubone, who evolves into Marowak, was intended to be the orphan of a Kangaskhan. Female Marowaks could then become Kangaskhan. The theory suggests it was taken out, but ''M still evolves into Kangaskhan when leveled up, implying it was originally a Marowak. Number 14, Gengar is a dead Clefable.
There are more of these? Oh!
There are quite a lot of theories surrounding Generation 1's 3 ghost types, who are fan favorites. The final evolution, Gengar, happens to look similar to Clefable and has a relatively similar index number. This has led fans to hypothesize that Gengar is actually the ghost of Clefable. One reason this makes sense is that before Clefable became a fairy type in Generation 6, neither of them could hit each other. Well, Pokémon Moon's Pokédex entry says Gengar was once human, so it's unlikely to be true.
Let's be really good friends, Kay? Gengar? Hey!
Number 13, Cubone is a baby Kangaskhan. We've already briefly discussed how this theory might explain Missing No's existence. If you aren't familiar with Kangaskhan, they keep an adorable Pokémon in their pouch, which looks somewhat similar to Cubone. Fans believe that when a baby Kangaskhan saw its mother killed by Team Rocket, it stayed with their mother's body until it decayed. Then it started morbidly wearing its mother's skull like a hat. Since Generation 1, Pokédex entries have confirmed that Cubone wears its dead mother's skull.
Cubone! Bone Club, now!
Hey, that's not fair!
The theory was strengthened in Generation 7. It added the call for help mechanic, where wild Pokémon summon similar species Pokémon to help. Fascinatingly, Cubone can summon a Kangaskhan to battle, implying similarities between the two. Number 12, Misty is dead.
Horsey does need exercise, and I haven't been home for a while, so why not?
Misty was a gym leader in Generation 1, but became more famous as Ash's friend in the early anime. In episode 24, she gets licked by Haunter. Canonically, a lick from a Haunter is a death sentence, as confirmed by Pokédex entries.
It just crossed the cute line!
Haunter, you paralyzed her!
This means a handful of fans are convinced Misty has been dead since this episode. To cope with his loss, Ash ends up with multiple personalities, one of which is Misty. So, all fights and scenes involving Misty are actually a coping mechanism for a grieving Ash. It's quite convoluted and far too dark for a children's show, but it's hilarious what people will come up with.
You know, Misty, you are really pretty amazing back there.
Save the sweet talk, Ash. You still owe me a bike.
Number 11, Ditto was made to breed endangered Pokémon. Another interesting Ditto theory is that they're a man-made Pokémon created to save endangered species. This comes from the fact that Ditto is the most versatile Pokémon in this regard in the franchise, as it can breed with any Pokémon outside of the No Eggs Discovered group. There are safari zones in a lot of the early games with multiple exclusive Pokémon, so this means there's a chance they are all endangered Pokémon and Ditto exists to save them from extinction. It's an interesting idea, but there's little evidence supporting it.
Right, Ditto?
Number 10, Mimikyu are dead Pichu. There are a lot of theories surrounding the mysterious and spooky Mimikyus. They were added in Generation 7 and are a ghost/fairy Pokémon. They all disguise themselves as Pikachus, as they want to be as popular as them. This has led fans to theorize that they're actually the ghosts of Pichus. Mimikyu shares a few moves with Pichu, but switched from electric to ghost after death. Pichus also evolve through friendship, so the idea is that Mimikyu is the ghost of a lonely Pichu who never managed to find a friend or become a Pikachu. It's one of the more plausible theories, as there are so many similarities between the two, and little evidence against it. Number 9, N is a Zoroark.
So you came. The freak without a human heart. N.
N is easily a contender for being one of the most interesting characters in the series. He's the son of Ghetsis, the real villain of Generation 5, who wants to segregate humans and Pokémon. Well, it turns out some fans don't even think N is human. Zoroark is known for being a master of illusions. Also, there's a moment in the game where Zoroark runs away from the player, then in the next area, instead of Zoroark, you find N. There's also a moment where interacting with a Zoroark starts a flashback about N. The character was canonically raised by Pokémon 2. Since it's been over a decade since this arc, it's unlikely this theory will ever be confirmed, but it's still interesting regardless.
Pokémon and human beings together take each other to greater heights. They're our partners.
Number 8, Ash's dad is Pikachu.
Oh, hi, Pikachu.
Pika.
We never get to meet Ash's father, which has led to a ton of theories about who or what he is. One grounded theory is coming up in the next entry. One far more wild theory claims it's Pikachu. Canonically, it said Ash's dad will never be heard from, but he's not explicitly dead. So, it's believed that researcher Bill is responsible, since in one chapter of the manga, he swaps minds with a Rattata. So Bill gave this Pikachu to Oak, who then gave it to Ash, knowing it was the child's father, but keeping it a secret.
Shocking, isn't it?
It's a weird idea that doesn't make much sense, but if true, it would completely change how we view Ash and Pikachu's bond.
It's because I always want to be with you.
Number 7, Giovanni is Ash's real father.
Who are you?
I'm Gary Oak, the best Pokemon trainer in Pallet.
Confident, aren't you? All right, I'll accept your challenge.
When you think of Pokemon villains, Team Rocket are often the first that come to mind. They're made up of Jesse, James, Meowth, countless grunts, and of course, the boss, Giovanni. For some reason, Team Rocket is convinced Ash's Pikachu is a special Pokemon and becomes obsessed with catching it. What makes more sense is the theory that their boss is secretly Ash's father, and his underlings are simply keeping an eye on him.
What are you half-wits talking about?
We've brought you a rare and valuable Pokémon, Togepi!
This explains why Ash's mom says his dad is a talented trainer but keeps him a secret. Giovanni is the leader of an organized crime syndicate, making him the Pokémon universe's equivalent of a mafia boss, so he's not an ideal role model.
You search for months and bring me this thing? You are total incompetence!
We're sorry. Less incompetent.
Number 6. Mixed up evolutions.
And tries his best to make his first Pokémon catch.
A handful of evolutions don't make too much sense. For example, Venonat looks super similar to Butterfree. They have similar eyes, hands, mouths, and fangs. On the other hand, Venomoth's eyes are more similar to Metapod's than Butterfree's. So fans think Butterfree was originally Venonat's evolution, and Venomoth is Metapod's.
Nice to meet you, Metapod. Not in the mood to talk?
Pikachu!
Another that comes to mind is how Gyarados comes from Magikarp, but it would make more sense to be Dratini's final evolution. There are a few other evolution lines that look to have been swapped for something less sensical, but Game Freak hasn't commented on the theory, so its plausibility is questionable.
Venomoth, Stun Spore.
Pidgeotto, Whirlwind!
Number 5. The Pokémon War.
Oh well, I guess you learned that playing with the big boys can be a shocking experience.
In Kanto, there's an unusual lack of grown men. Most of the ones we see are either gym leaders or criminals like Giovanni. In the first generation games, Lieutenant Surge also tells the player, "Electric Pokémon saved me during the war." This motivated the player base to formulate the Great War Theory, which states that there was a brutal war before the game's events. The theory explains why Red and Ash don't have fathers.
An age of war had begun.
They died fighting. There isn't a great deal of evidence supporting or opposing the idea. It's also a bit confusing how so many elderly trainers and researchers survived, as they would have been valuable in a Pokémon war. Number 4. Ash is dead or in a coma. For over 20 years, Ash has been 10 years old. This led to the previously mentioned Ho-Oh theory, but also a far darker speculation that Ash is either dead or in a coma. People have wondered if Ash entered a coma after Pikachu shocked him, meaning the series is his coma dream. Alternatively, others think Ash was killed in The Tower of Terror, where a Haunter takes Ash and Pikachu's souls out of their bodies. The ghost Pokémon interact differently with Ash than with others, like Team Rocket, therefore implying he's also a ghost.
Sorry, but I really have to go. I'll miss you all.
Number 3. Humans are an invasive species. It's unclear whether humans are Pokémon. Later entries in the franchise revealed Pokémon made continents and oceans. This has made people wonder if humans aren't native to the Pokémon world at all. Instead, they may have come from an alternate universe or from a distant planet. Either way, they colonized the planet. This explains why so many new Pokémon are introduced so frequently. Humans haven't explored the entire world as they're new to it. It might also explain why there are so many more children than adults. They were rescued from a dying planet. This sheds some light on Professor Oak's opening words in Generation 1, where he talks as if you are new here. Number 2. Pokémon eat Pokémon.
That's it! Dinner is now served!
In the early years, animals would occasionally show up in the Pokémon franchise. Over time, they've become increasingly rare, leading fans to question the Pokémon's food supply. Many of them simply eat wild fruits and vegetables, but a few Pokédex entries have confirmed that they do eat other Pokémon. For example, Pidgeot is a natural predator of Magikarp, as confirmed by Pokémon Red. They also entirely mimic real-life food chains in the animal kingdom. Not only are there parasitic Pokémon, but there are also rival predators, and some that even eat regular animals. Wailord eats plankton, and the more dark Victory Bell will sometimes eat people. That's barely even scratching the surface of Pokémon that feed on people. There are loads. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. People eat Pokémon.
Wait a minute, Professor, you're not eating my Krabby, are you?
Don't worry. I'm taking good care of your Krabby. It's right here.
Turns out it's also canon that people also consume these cute critters. In the Johto region, Team Rocket can be found selling Slowpoke tails. You can't eat them yourself, but we're told that they're very tasty. According to the anime, Farfetch'd is nearly extinct because they're so delicious. There's also one moment where Ash and Brock imagine a Magikarp served up like sashimi, but Misty explains to them that Magikarps are inedible.
Gotta eat something like filleted carp.
Or fried carp.
It's confusing that the pair don't know what they can and can't eat in their own world. Maybe this is further confirmation that neither of them comes from the Pokémon world. Regardless, there are always bad consequences for eating Pokémon, so maybe it's best to become a vegetarian on their planet.
Ugh, not only can this fish not swim, it's not even good for eating!
See, I told you buying it was stupid!
You good-for-nothing fish!
What's your favorite Pokémon theory? Let us know in those comments below.